Today we're going to review factoring. This problem is not a quadratic, but it is in quadratic form, with my x to the fourth, and then my middle term being half of that power. We call this quadratic form, and so we're still going to factor it as if it were a quadratic to some degree. You're going to multiply your a times your c, and I'll get negative 12. Now I have to think, what multiplies to give me negative 12, but adds up to my middle term here of negative 11? Well, I think for a minute, and I can try a few things like 2 and negative 6, and that gives me negative 4, not negative 11. If I try 1 and negative 12, this does work to multiply to give me negative 12 and add up to negative 11. Now I'm going to rewrite my problem. I have 3x to the fourth. Now I'm going to use these two terms to rewrite 11x squared. I want to use the negative 12x squared plus 1x squared and then the minus 4. These two terms would add together to give me this middle term. I am separating this so that I can use factoring by grouping. I look at these first two terms and find what they have in common. Well, I look at 3 and 12 and realize 3 will go into both of them. I have x to the fourth and x to the second and realize that x squared is in both of them as well. 3 goes into 3 one time, and if I take out 2 of my x's, I'm left with x squared. 3 goes into 12 4 times. Since that's a minus, I need to make sure I'm careful and that that's negative 4. And then if I take out my x squared, I have no x's left. Now I need to look at my second parentheses, or my second set of terms to decide what needs to be on the outside of my parenthesis and what's on the inside. I look at these two terms and I see that there's no x in common. The 4 doesn't have an x. So I have to rethink my issue. What do I have that's in common? Well, the only number that's in common to both of these is 1. The thing that I noticed is this parenthesis is the same as this. So I'm merely going to take out a positive 1. And then I have the same thing left in my parenthesis. Since both of my parentheses are the same, I will take that out of both problems. And what is remaining is what will go into my second parenthesis. The 3x squared plus 1. And I have now factored this polynomial. When I look at my problem, however, I notice that I have x squared minus 4. And I realize that that is the difference of two squares. So this can be factored yet again to x plus 2 times x minus 2. X squared minus 4 will factor to x plus 2 times x minus 2. And now I need to bring my second parenthesis down and include it. Now I have factored completely my original polynomial.